Hey, ES1ers. I tried to create video with my picture in it and it was a total disaster. So I learned that the application I was trying to use does not work, which was called Cattura. So what I want to tell you about in this video, I'm sorry that it's a little bit late, but I encountered some problems, is I want to share with you what the 3-2-1 assignments are. You may notice on your green sheet that there is, let me get to it. Oops, I already had it open, sorry. There are these points allocated for chapter readings. They're called 3-2-1s. There's 200 points total that will be allocated to these, so it's very important that you complete them so that I can give you the points for them. Those points accumulate to a fairly large percentage of the overall points of the class. So let me explain to you what a 3-2-1 is. At the end here, you'll notice on your green sheet that there's this tentative class schedule. I made an error in that I didn't update the completion date, so I'm going to ask you to just ignore that column and instead pay attention to the week column. So we'll have assignments due, it looks like 2 per week, based on the reading that's in this section. So I've highlighted to identify what we're going to be talking about today. So the way that this works is that I've referenced the pages that you are to read in the Eyes Wide Open book. So what you'll be reading this week, it starts actually on page 1, is Optical Illusions, Seeing What's Really Going On. It's just a short piece there, and then it goes into what the author calls the essentials. Now, it's going to outline 5 key points that the author believes are the most important aspects of environmental studies, pretty much. So that's 20 pages. You'll notice down here that there's another section that is called How to Weigh Information. And that's actually further into the book. And it's a short section that I like to have at the beginning of class because it really talks about the different types of media. Here you see websites, newspapers, magazines, journals, books, documentaries, and it gives you some ideas about why we need to be aware of where our information is coming from. As you can see right here, it says follow the money. That is a huge part of this class. Pay attention to who benefits from different choices, who profits off of certain policies that are particularly anti-environment. So you're going to read these 2 sections. I believe it totals about 25 pages. It's not bad. This book in print is about 4 by 6 books, so it's a half a page. If you're having any troubles finding the book, please let me know so I can help you out, okay? What you'll do is what I call a 3-2-1. Now, the 3 represents vocabulary words. You do 3 of them. The 2 represents main ideas or concepts. You do 2 of them. And the 1 represents a question. So I'm going to go through each of these sections so that you can have a better understanding of what my expectations are. For the definitions, it's not so important to me that you use terms that the author deems vocabulary words. It's more important to me that you use words that you identify as vocabulary words. So what I'm looking for are words that you don't know, so that you can use this time and this exercise to expand your vocabulary. Now, that can be a word that the author has identified as a vocabulary word through bold, or it can be a word that's within the regular text that is new to you. So I'm not going to judge you. You're not going to get graded based on what the word is. I want you to use this as an opportunity to expand your vocabulary all around. So I've got some examples here with percolation, and this is a different book actually that this example is off of, so don't worry, these aren't the words for you. Infiltration, transpiration. All you need to do is find the word and then define it. And in this section, you can actually copy and paste from the internet, or you can type in the answer or the glossary definition if it is a vocabulary word that the author identifies. So 3 words with their definitions, that's that entire section. The section that people tend to have more difficulty with is this main idea and concepts. So notice here I say use your own words. You are not allowed to copy this part off of the internet, and I can tell through the Turnitin.com software if you have. So I want you to practice writing things in your own words. That is a necessary skill in academia. So what you'll see here in what I've written, I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and read it. Now what you'll notice is that this section is an expansion of thoughts. It doesn't just say the water cycle is a continuous flow of water, period. I go on to explain that there are 3 phases, that it's fueled by the energy of the sun, that it's impacted by the levels of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, and that there is a result of that impact in the greenhouse effect, in that the average temperature of the Earth's surface will increase with increased greenhouse gases. So what I've done is I've explained multiple concepts and connected them. Now this is an example that is using more of an environmental science premise, but we will have connections to the different subjects and ideas in the material that we learn, whether it be sociological, economics, political science, or environmental justice. It's all going to connect, and sometimes it will connect to the sciences. It's actually very difficult to separate out the social sciences and the natural sciences in the study of the environment because they are so intricately intertwined. So just do the best that you can. I have about 3 sentences on each of these. Actually, I have exactly 3 sentences on each of these. So if you're nervous about how long it should be because you want to make sure that you get your full points, make sure that you have about 3 sentences to explain your main idea or concept. Remember, this is not the same thing as a definition. It needs to connect ideas. It needs to connect concepts. So you may have representation of vocabulary words within this paragraph, but it won't just be what you share in part 1. Okay, so 3 vocabulary words, 2 main ideas or concepts, and the last part is really easy. It's a question that you ask based on what you just learned. So the idea behind this is that it is thought-provoking and that you're building on your knowledge. So you read your section, you do your 3, you do your 2, and then you think, what about this? What about this is what I want you to put here. Not literally, don't type what about this here, but I want to know what question you have as a result of what you experienced through your reading and the beginning portion of the 3-2-1 exercise. That's it. What you'll do is you'll then go into Turnitin.com and you'll submit your 3-2-1 into the folder that I created right here. Looks like someone already did it. It looks also, I see that a lot of people are getting their Fierce Green Fire submissions in, so that's good. I posted the 3-2-1 example on Catalyst, and I also posted the YouTube class link where I'll have all the videos. So I'll send this out in an email so everybody knows that there's a new video. I do want to point out that everybody should at least log into Catalyst by July 5th because I have to do what's called census, and if I don't see any online activity, then I am going to have to drop you, which is okay. I hope you guys have a nice 4th of July weekend. Please take into consideration your environmental impact in what you eat, what you use to eat on, where you go, everything you do. Just kind of think about it like, I wonder what this has to do with the environment, because it actually all does. Be safe, and I will be in touch next week. Thank you.